Hello friends, this is Reza Rad from RadAcad. In this video I want to talk about a very important concept in Power Query, either for Power BI or for Microsoft Fabric, which is called query folding. This is really important in terms of the performance when you get data from a data source, from a relational database system or any database system that supports a query language. This can impact the performance when you refresh the data, when you want to load data into Power BI, and it is called query folding. In this video, I'm going to talk about what it is, how you can understand is it happening or not, and how it impacts the performance of your Power BI report when you load data into it. Let's jump into this video. So if you are new to Power BI, you may not have heard the term of query folding, or you might have been working with Power BI for some time and still this concept is new or this terminology is new for you. I'm going to explain what it is. First, before understanding the query folding, it is important to know that in Power BI, when you connect to a data source and get data from that data source into Power BI, this process uses a component of Power BI called Power Query. Power Query is a data transformation component in Power BI. It is not only for Power BI. You can use it in Excel, you can use it in Dataflow, which is Power Query Online, and some other places. But because this is the context of Power BI, we are talking about it in the context of Power BI. When you connect to a data source and bring that data into Power BI, let's talk about the default behavior of bringing data into Power BI, which is called import. When you do this process, there are two types of actions, two types of ways that this can happen. One is that you query the data in the data source and you bring all the data into Power BI. Now this might take a really long time. Let's say if you are connected to a SQL Server database with tens of billions of records and you query all of that data and you bring it into Power BI, all of that data passes through the network. It might be even on-prem data sources, so you might have gateway in between. There's quite a lot of processing happening to bring all of that data into Power BI. And then inside Power BI, you do some filtering, slicing and dicing, and you work with part of that data. Now, what Power Query does is that when you do data transformations in Power Query Editor, Power Query automatically convert or translate your transformations in Power Query into the query language that the data source understands it. So if my data source is Azure SQL Database, and I'm querying that data, bringing it in Power Query, I bring that table, then I remove two columns, then I filter the data, I get all the data that has been loaded in the last 3 years, things like that. When I apply all of these transformations, Power Query, instead of bringing all the data into Power BI and then doing the transformation, filtering, slicing and dicing, Power Query converts my transformations, like removing columns, adding new columns, filtering the data, into the query language of the data source, in this case into SQL code. It sends the SQL code to the data source and the result comes back. This process is called query folding. Your mQuery or your Power Query steps is folding into a SQL query and it goes to the data source, the result comes back. Query folding is a really good thing because instead of bringing tens of billions of data into Power BI, where I might finally just need like 1 million of those records after filters and things like that in Power Query, what I'll get is just that 1 million records from the data source. The loads is much faster. So query folding is a good thing. Now the thing is that this does not always happen. So let's jump into some examples and I show you how this works. So I'll go into my Power BI desktop. In this example, I'm going to get data from SQL Server. Now, one first thing that you need to understand about this query folding, I'm enabling my zooming tool. The first thing you need to understand about the query folding is that it is not available for all data sources. It is only for specific data sources, which most of them are database systems like SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, because these systems have understanding of a query language. REST APIs also supports query folding as well. So as long as that data source somehow understands a query language, they support that. In this case, it can be like SQL Server. But Excel, for example, is not a source that understands query folding because there is no query language for Excel. When you go and connect to an Excel data source, you are bringing the entire of that data into Power BI. When you connect to a CSV data source, same thing, you'll bring the entire data into Power BI. So we are not talking about it. We are talking about scenarios that you are getting data from a data source that understands a query language. I'll go and choose SQL Server here, and I'll type in my server URL. In this case, I'm connecting to an Azure SQL database, and I type the database name as well. I'll choose import for now, which means bringing that data into the Power BI. So when I click on that, this shows me list of tables, views, whatever I have over there. I'm going to just select one of these tables, and I'll say transform data. Now I want to show you what happens behind the scene of this. So I have Power Query Editor right now with this table called module, which has like 4 columns and in this case like 206 records. I'll go to SQL Server Management Studio. There is a way that we can monitor the queries sent to this. I'll go under Extend Xevent Profile, which is kind of like a way to trace queries sent to the data source. I'm opening this query tracer. So from now on, any query run in this data source would be visible in here. If I go and do something in Power BI, this would show it over there. So I'll go into Power Query just to show you that something is happening inside Power Query. Now, apparently this doesn't let me to go there. Okay, here it is. So I'll just do a refresh to show you that we can go and see this query on the other side. So as soon as I do that, you see something is happening here. The last step normally shows the query that has been running, and you see this is like select top whatever number and all the columns from the module table, right? This is the query sent to the data source. Now I'm going to do some transformations here and see how this is going to affect. Let's say, for example, I don't need module order. I'll right click on this and say remove, right? Then I'll go back here, and you see that this time I have again the query generated. This time in the select statement of that, I don't see the module order, which I had it in the previous query. If I go and find it now, there are lots of other queries also happening because there are like other applications that are working with this database as well. But what you see here is that there is no sign of module order in the columns mentioned in this, which means that the query has been folded correctly. I'll go and do a little bit different transformation this time. I go and say, well, whatever this module ID is, I want to do let's go and add a column, standard transformation, multiply it with something like 30. Now I'm doing this just to show you some transformation. So I get the value of a column multiplied by 30. That would add a new column, which is this. I'll go to this tracer and I will see this query over here, and within this query you can actually see that we have that multiply 30 within this query. The column name is multiplication, and this automatically has been converted to that, which is really good thing because it shows you how this transformation happens. Now inside Power Query there is also a way to see these queries. When you right click on a step, you see this view native query. This option gives you the ability to go and see the query sent to the data source, which in this case you see that query. However, if you just rely on this view native query and you say, if I don't see this right-click view native query, that means query is not folding, that is not a true statement, because sometimes this is not showing you the native query, but still the query folds. So the best way to understand is it folding really or not is actually monitoring the data source in a way that is possible for you. For me, I use this profiler way to trace and see if there's any query sent to the data source. So it is applying the transformations and converting it to that way. Now I'm going to show you the same thing in online Power Query. I'll go to the Power BI website. Here I'll go and create a data flow. Now data flow is like Power Query online. I use Dataflow Gen 1, but it is also similar in Gen 2. I use Gen 1 because I have Power BI license in this workspace. I'll create a blank data flow, and I would go and get data from here, SQL Server database. Now when I go to the server, I'll just type in the server name, and I also type the database, and then I would see again list of all tables which I'm going to get data from. The reason I'm showing you on the online version is that there is a different view online which can help you better understand this query folding happening or not. Then I'll go and select the same table, transform data. This is the same Power Query but a little bit different view because it is Power Query online. Here I see the values in here. I might go and say I will do the same thing. I'll click on this column and remove it. That would add a step here. Or I'll click on this column and I say add column as standard, multiply, again 30. That would again apply it. And here, one of the interesting things is that in the right hand side, you see these little green bars. These green bars, as long as you see them, it shows that the query is folding. And you can see in the description here that it says that this step will be evaluated by the data source, meaning that this is folding. If you right click on any of these, you can say view data source query, and it will show you the query generated for that. Now I'm going to do a transformation that will not fold, and we will see what happens. At the same time, these queries are also available over there as well. So this tracer trace the queries no matter where they are coming from, Power BI desktop or website. Now I'm going to do a transformation that might be a little bit challenging. I'll go and say, well, based on course ID, let's go and group this data. So I'll do the aggregation based on course ID and I get the count of rows. Now this transformation itself, although it's considered as advanced transformation, this itself is still folding. When I go to view data source query, I see that here. And even when I come here, I should see the same group by transformation here. You see that group by course ID right over here. So this is converted to a SQL code. Whereas if I go and do a little bit different thing this time, I'll go and to the setting and I say, well, in addition to that, let's add an aggregation and get some of the values of a column. I don't care if this at the moment doesn't have any meaning. This data is just a subject here, is a relevant subject here because I want to show you how this transformation converts to a SQL code. I click on that. This is still translating to a SQL code, and you can see this SQL code here. You can see that this is also added as part of my SQL code. And where I go into this monitoring, I will still see the same thing, and you can see it that this is still doing the grouping, group by course ID, getting the columns, and then generating the sum value and the count value. Now, one last thing I want to show you, and you will see that in that one query folding doesn't happen, is that I'm going this time to do a little bit of advanced transformation. So I'll go and expand this formula bar. I'll say whatever this column, first column is, the second column is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a third column in here. I'm actually directly going and changing the MS scripting. I'll add a third column. In that third column, I would say, give me the first item in this list, and I'm going to call it first module ID. Now, when I run this, as soon as I run something like this, you see that this icon now changed. It shows me something in red color, and it shows me that this step will be evaluated outside of the data source. So what this actually means is that Power Query was not able to translate whatever I have done in here to a SQL code. This is not a limitation of T-SQL language. It is just the way that SQL code translation from Power Query works. This is not able. It is not able to convert that at the moment. What this means, it means that the data will be loaded until this stage, until pre this stage, and everything after that will be happening in the Power Query memory itself, which might cause the performance to drop depending on the volume of data. Same thing would happen in the data source. Now, if I go to the data source, this time you see that this is like my last query here. But in this last query, you see there is no sign of group by and that first item of the list in here, because again, the same thing. It was this translator was not able to translate it. So what it does, it brings all of that data into Power Query, and then the rest of transformations happens in the memory of Power Query, which might bring the performance down depending on the volume of data. So back to this concept of query folding. What query folding actually means, it means that your transformation in SQL will be converted or translated into the query language of the data source. It is a good thing. It causes the performance to increase because you do all the transformations in the data source itself. You'll bring only the part of the data that you need. That is ideal. However, this is not always happening. If you do a transformation which is a little bit complex, now this complex transformation might not always happen in MS scripting. It might happen even in one of the normal transformations that you do here. Depending on the transformation, depending on what you did, that might not fold, that might not cause query folding. So the data will come to Power Query. The rest of transformation will happen on the data loaded into Power Query, and then the rest into Power BI. So you have two stages. All the data come to Power Query online. From there into your Power BI model. This happens in no matter what version of Power Query you use, Excel, Power Query Online, Data Flow, Desktop Power Query Editor for Power BI Desktop. This is a really important concept I wanted to explain to you, and if your process of loading data into Power BI takes a long time, make sure that you check out the query folding. Is it happening or not? If you are going to implement incremental refresh, query folding is important in that case as well, because incremental refresh means you bring only part of the data, and that only makes sense when you connect to a data source that you can bring part of the data. If you connect to Excel, which doesn't support query folding, bringing part of the data doesn't matter. If you connect to SQL Server and your query folding doesn't happen, then again, incremental refresh doesn't make sense. So it is an important concept to understand. I wanted to explain it to you. I hope this helped you to understand it and go and check your Power BI implementation performance based on it. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe into our YouTube channel. We have weekly videos that talks about Power BI and Microsoft Fabric and also performance aspects of it. I'm Reza Rad from Radicad. Until the next video, bye.